Alrighty now, President William Ruto was among the world leaders who convened at the United Nations General Assembly, its 80th forum that took place in the USA in New York City. He had an incredible, profound speech that left a lot of tongues wagging and just, thinking. But on the other side as well, he caught up with CNN's Richard Quest, who is the host of Quest Means Business. And I want us to take a look at that interesting one-on-one session they had, and then we're going to pick up from there.
Kenya has now moved from position 9 to position 8 as the largest economy in Africa, and Standard & Poor's has just given a report that Kenya is much more creditworthy than it was 2 years ago. That
so
tells
why are people protesting?
That's the essence of a democracy. Don't you see a demonstration around here? There are demonstrations all over. This is the essence of democracy. Democracy is that some people agree with you, some don't agree with you. Those who don't agree with you demonstrate. Those who don't agree with you, they do whatever it is that. But what leadership must do is to focus. Keep the eye on the ball.
I was reading up on you. It must have been quite painful when you were described as the worst president. You saw that.
There is all manner of stories all over as to.
How did you take that?
I also saw one saying that Nairobi is the capital of Africa. So there is all manner of things in the social media. But you see, as a leader, you must keep the focus.
How hard is that?
It's quite difficult because
it's incredible because, our president is used to actually meeting local media. And I think the last time our president got grilled was during that session it was also some sort of like convergence between Linus Kaikai from Citizen TV, Joe Agea from Nation, and then I think it was Eric Lantive from Standard Media Group during that time. And whoa, it was quite an explosive. So I think he's used to answering questions that trigger him. And that's usually the essence of, journalism, to trigger a world leader, to be vulnerable and expose the truth, literally making the powerful accountable. But in summary, these are some of the things that President William Ruto highlighted during his speech at the United Nations General Assembly address. And one of them is the position of Africa in the Security Council in the United States. He wants Africa at least to have two permanent places or two permanent positions to ensure that, when it comes to issues on global security, Africa plays a pivotal role in ensuring that it makes the right moves. And then he also called upon reforms of global finance systems like the IMF and the World Bank, because some of the policies and the regulation measures that they have do not favor I hate using the word third world, do not favor developing countries, and that include most of actually African countries, maybe excluding a little bit of South Africa. And then he also pointed out issues on climate change, especially when it comes to climate financing. Remember this year, I believe it's happening or it's almost there in Belém, in Brazil. And of course, some of the constant issues that keep on cropping up, especially when lobby groups are going there to ensure that they have a voice in the discussion, is issues on matters financing. And then for Africa, is it all about adapting, mitigating, or combating? Since, climate change is now becoming a crisis in this modern day age for Africa. And also when it comes to, again, to do with carbon emissions, what is the role of Africa, especially when it comes to the issue that has to do with carbon credit? Should industrialized country keep on buying rights to emit? That's literally the meaning of carbon credit. But negotiations still on the table. I remember the last time I did a brief on that, it was at $1.3 trillion for Africa. And then lastly, he also called upon a ceasefire for what has been happening in Gaza. But again, there's a question as well about, the Haiti mission, where he was asked by Richard Quest, does he regret? And he said he doesn't regret at all, because he pointed out issues of abductions. He said abductions have decreased in Port-au-Prince. But again, the soldiers who died, and right now in our country, there's a family that's literally mourning one of the, loved one who was among, the soldiers that were, disbursed to Haiti, did not make it. And it's sad that they had to actually hear the news from the president who was giving his speech in the United States. So I think those are some of the festering issues, but our president has always, shined on the global stage. And I think It's incredible to see that despite all these other festering issues back at home, he still makes sense when he's over there. And also somebody said, why does he walk across the street in the United States, in New York, but right here in the country, they're always in these fuel guzzlers, tinted and all of that. So I think that's just summarizes that interaction. What do you make of this? What caught your attention? And also from the United Nations General Assembly 80th Forum that's happening in New York City, what was your takeout?